live. I'm so excited. So you're here because you want to learn the habits of success, the habits for success with plant-based eating. Maybe you're tired of falling off the wagon. Maybe you're tired of starting and stopping. And I'm here to share those tips and tricks to make that happen. Let's do this. Welcome to the VegInspired Live. These are micro trainings on the tips, tricks, and lifestyle habits to help you become a plant-based eater. Real quick, before I dive in, I'm a real person. I travel full-time in a fifth wheel RV with my husband, John, and our little cat, Eddie. I've been an ethical vegan for over 9 years, but in 2019, I was faced with a health decision: continue on the vegan path that I was on, or take control of my health through lifestyle change. Now, I chose the latter. I shifted my vegan way of eating, a lot of the processed foods, a lot of dining out, to a cleaner, more whole food, plant-based, mostly unprocessed way of living. I adopted daily habits that led to easy and fun plant-based eating, which has given me increased energy, better moods, happiness, over 50 pounds of weight loss and maintained, reversal of all the symptoms of prediabetes, and the opportunity to author 3 plant-based cookbooks. I've taken the methods and the ways and the habits and the thinking that I used to make plant-based eating my new normal, and now I teach others to do the same thing so that they can achieve a happy, healthy, and thriving life themselves. So I'm super excited to be here today to talk about the tips and tricks to make plant-based eating your way of life, to really hone in on these daily habits. So whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, I love reading your comments. So get active, get in there. Let's start by telling me where you're tuning in from today. Where are you watching this live? I'm going to pop in over here to Facebook. Right now I'm using StreamYard. So I'm allowing me to go live in multiple places. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, hey to my YouTube. If you're in the Facebook group, hello. And if you're over on our Facebook page, welcome. You can join the Facebook group by going to veginspired.com/community. Same thing for you on YouTube. So let's see what we've got in the comments popping. Super excited to be here. Awesome. So I'm coming to you from the red desert of Utah. The temperatures have been hitting the hundreds, insane. And that makes you not want to cook. So let's get into these day-to-day habits of plant-based, whole food plant-based eating that I do. Now, as I said, I experienced tremendous results from making plant-based eating my day-to-day habits. It's not about those once in a whiles. It's about how I want to live day to day. And I choose to live day to day, whole food plant-based, mostly unprocessed. And I'm here to help you do that as well. So how do we stick to it, right? Hands up. Give me some love in the chat. Give me some fire emojis, whatever lights you up, maybe a heart. And let me know, do you want to make your plant-based habits stick? Something I hear a lot from my clients and my community members is it's not that they don't have the knowledge. They know what to do. They've looked at all the research. They've read all the books. They've watched all the documentaries, but they find themselves stuck in the how to stick with it. Maybe it's self-sabotage. Maybe it's outside influences, right? Our environment can really wreak havoc on those day-to-day choices. It's temptations. Maybe it's old habits that resurface. Maybe it's old food associations. You're crushing it. You're doing great. You go on a long weekend trip with the girls and it's like everything crumbles beneath you. And so one of the biggest things that I work with my clients on is creating that foundation, creating those foundational habits. Who are you as a plant-based eater? What are those foundational habits? So that's something to start exploring. I'm not going to dig too deeply into that. I do reserve that for my one-on-one and my group programs, really building that foundation. But for today, this is where we can really get into what are some of those day-to-day habits. What I find with my clients and when they're following my formula and my strategies for success is that they're able to create this lifestyle. So if that's you, if you're ready to create a lifestyle, not just a diet, let's get into this. The first, I'm going to share 3 tips today. They're not the only tips that I share, but these will get you started. So tip number 1 of creating daily habits is to plan. Plan. Write a meal plan. Write a grocery plan. Plan for the circumstances that are out of your control. Plan when you go to restaurants. Plan ahead. Now, for those of you listening, you might be like, this is exactly what I'm trying to get away from. I don't want to be thinking about food all the time. It might sound counterintuitive, right? But creating a lifestyle where you don't have to think about food starts with thinking about food, because you're setting yourself up for that success. So in the beginning, it is essential that you create a plan, because without a plan, you're just willy-nilly going all over the place, right? We've got Nance from Michigan. We've got God's Girl from San Diego. Look at you guys are all over the place. Hello, hello. I'm so excited. Uh, it's essential that you create habits that are aligned with the life that you want. And in the beginning, you need to consciously make those choices. So create that plan. What does it look like? Maybe you're headed out of town this weekend. What is your plan to eat plant-based out of town this weekend? What is your plan to eat at a restaurant that may not have a, whole food plant-based option, but it has a little bit of this and a little bit of that? And so you look at the menu and you can plan ahead. You are making this plan so that you can create the decision. You can make the decision ahead of time. You can make the choice to take actions that align with your goals, right? I'm an avid hiker. We love to go out and hike. It's very easy to be like, oh, we'll just, grab whatever afterwards. No, that doesn't work for us because it doesn't align with our goals. And so for us, we make cookies to take on our hikes. We make wraps to eat after our hikes. We make our overnight oatmeal bowls, right? These are day-to-day habits that we choose in order to make plant-based eating our way of life. Plan in the snacks and the meals that excite you. If you love watermelon, it's watermelon season. Make sure you have watermelon on hand. If you love granola bars, make some granola bars or buy some that align with your goals. You see, this is the biggest thing. One, you have to know your goal. And then two, you make choices to align with those goals. Aligning your food choices with your goals is step number 2. Adding more plant foods that align with your goals, right? If that means going to the farmer's market and buying fresh vegetables, if that means making mason jar salads to take with you, or making a light veggie minestrone soup that's really summery to eat every day before your meal. Like maybe it's adding fruit or creating a vegan or whole food plant-based dessert. Adding foods that align with your goals is part of making this work for you. Focusing on filling your day with foods that align with your goals rather than what you can't have, right? Bringing in more of what you can have, more of those foods that align. Maybe it's taking a look at some cookbooks and saying, "Ooh, I want to have hummus on hand so that I can have hummus this week. Ooh, I want to have this Texas bean dip. If you want my Texas caviar, which is oil free, drop a Texas caviar in the comments and I'll send you that recipe. It's on VegInspired.com. I just posted our whole food cookie recipe to Instagram. If you want that, just type cookies. Like let's get you some resources of these foods that really light you up. Because here's the thing, if you don't have foods that make you happy, you're going to be searching for foods that do. Let me say that again. If you don't have foods on hand that make you happy, like my Texas caviar, that lights me up. I can't wait to head to the refrigerator and scoop some of that up. Deviled potatoes, love those. Can't wait to eat those, right? If you don't have food on hand that makes you excited, you're going to start searching for foods that'll make you excited. So it's really time to, really get into this and say, how can I buy and have on hand and prepare ahead of time alternatives that align with my goals? Number 3, simplify. I can't tell you how many times I talk to a client or even people who are considering working with me, and they're like, I make 21 new recipes a week. I'm exhausted. I'm buying $700 in groceries. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm a cookbook author and I don't make 21 new recipes a week, right? Don't overthink your plant-based meals. Let the natural flavors of the vegetables, like it's summer, fresh vegetables are plentiful right now. Let the natural flavors of those veggies shine through. Potatoes, whole grains. We have been on a brol kick, BROL. It is from Dr. Greger. It's one of his grain and lentil mixes. Oh my gosh, we've been loving it. And we've been eating it with tahini sauce or barbecue sauce or a little soy maple mustard, right? Take those and enhance those with a little bit of fresh herbs or some additional veggies. We've been using actually dried grilling seasoning. It's a mixed grilling seasoning. It's so good. Sweet potatoes, black beans, like eat more of those simple meals you love. We love to steam up some sweet potatoes, open a can of black beans, top it with, a fourth of an avocado, a scoop of pico de gallo or fresh salsa. Maybe you make, your favorite whole grain pasta or lentil or bean pasta and eat that with grilled or roasted or steamed vegetables. What I find is when we overcomplicate our meals, we don't want to make them. And so then we're more likely to fall off the wagon or go to those convenient foods that, come together faster. So how can you make more of your staple plant-based meals, potatoes, rice, grains, veggies, easier accessible? Now I'm going to give you a bonus tip because I'm all about the tips and tricks in these micro trainings. I always encourage you to take a look at other daily habits that provide energy and joy. So if you get up in the morning and you love a warm cup of tea and you just want to sit and watch the birds, create time, create space in your day to be able to do that. If you are just lit up by a walk in the morning, but it's too hot in the afternoon, create space in your day to have some intentional movement. Normally, I have my water bottle here, but it's right over there. Hydrate more. Look at your sleep habits. All of these little habits really lend themselves to being more empowered with your day. And then lastly, look at your self talk. How are you talking about food and your relationship with food? Are you speaking about, food as like this, I get to? Hey, Kara from Pittsburgh. Oh, lots of love back to Pittsburgh. I hope you were able to hit up Veg Fest this past weekend in Pittsburgh. It looked like a great time. I totally was bummed I missed it. But what is the self talk you're having about food, right? Are you, oh gosh, I have to make beans and oh my gosh, I have to grill and prep these vegetables and I don't want to make a salad. And like it's this negative spiral in your head. But what if you're like, oh my gosh, I went to the farmer's market and I have all these amazing veggies that I get to prepare. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna boil up these potatoes and I get to make my deviled potatoes. I get to make my fresh beans. I get to make my granola bars, right? What's the mind talk that you're having? A lot of people will say to me, Kathy, I don't understand. You're a plant-based lifestyle and mindset coach. Where does mindset come in? Mindset is the key, right? If you're entering into plant-based eating as if it's a diet, as if it's the short-term, run to the finish, you're going to set yourself up for this falling off the wagon. Those same old habits that we have with all the other diet culture bullshit that we have, pardon my French, these are not food related, but they're holistic wellness related. And it's really about leaning into what are these habits? What are your day to day habits? What are you making space for in your day? And how can you make space for these holistic health habits, sleeping, mindfulness, hydration, movement, but also how can you make space for these plant based foods and the way you think and talk and interact with them? Right? So hopefully you got something out of this, even if it's just a little quip or a little quote or just an inspiration to do a little bit more planning. If you need help with meal planning, I do run the Meal Plan Accountability Club. It's a monthly membership. We meet each week to help you become a more efficient and effective meal planner. If you're looking for more support in becoming plant-based, I just kicked off a 4-week program last night. Still time to catch up. Just comment becoming plant-based in this video, and I'll get you the link to apply for that. And I will be back here next week to bring you some more tips, tricks, and little quips on making plant-based your way of life. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.